how do you get individuals or couples to start thinking outside themselves and towards that future or being child focused when they're still grieving their marriage and feeling anger or resentment towards their spouse?
Well, I think some of it is about being honest about it and grieving, like if people just stay in one stage of grief, like if you just stay stuck in anger, right? Then it's pretty hard for you to lead your family through the grief process if you're not moving through it. So it's not feeling angry or hurt. It's about movement through the different stages and the different feelings. So being real with it, having those true moments of grief. I always say to families, this should hurt. You should feel sad. This should be painful for all of you, because when we lose something that was important, it's our way of telling us it was valuable, right? When we have that pain. And when you sit with that and then you can move through it, then you have more clarity and you can start to craft the next stages in your life. So it's not avoiding the difficult feelings, it's moving through the difficult feelings. And then getting to that place, particularly working with parents, which is kind of my passion, is, rather than being just stuck here in their positions, right? They need to kind of get above and be able to see the terrain again, so that they can guide their children, right? So what happens with people when they're stuck in their different stages of grief and anger and frustration, they don't go here and they can't really lead their children forward. But once you go up and you look over the land again and you get a view, then you can say, okay, this is the direction we want to head in. This is the vision I have for my family now.
What happens when one spouse is able to come up here, but the other spouse still gets stuck in grief? And that challenge of in order to have a really positive negotiation or experience, you need both parties on the same page. What do you do if, especially when there's a real mistrust that builds in? How do you approach that kind of problem?
Well, there's a few things. Because I've worked in a lot of situations where there has been betrayals and hurts and all sorts of many different kinds of betrayals too. And there is such value in, frankly, cleaning up that mess. It's a difficult thing to do, but this is where counseling can be helpful, because when you're in the hands of people that understand how to have restorative conversations, there's a lot you can clean up there. So first of all, I'm going to say you can work through that. It's quite doable, right? But the thing is, how do we move people to being able to get to that higher view? And yes, if you have somebody that you can't move, right, you still can see if you move yourself up, you still can see the terrain. And it's better if you have a partner in parenting to share that with, but you can't go in with the expectation that you will. You just have to do the best that you can. And then you recognize, okay, maybe he or she is still very angry and resentful or even bitter about this situation, but I can see forward and I can see what I want for my children and the vision for myself. I can't go back and fix it for him or her, but I can do it for myself and my relationship with the people that I have relationship with.